I know you're used to seeing us out on the streets, what with me stuffing my face with a ridiculous amount of food.
I feel like there's sugar all over my face right now.
And Matteo wearing one of his 10 exciting black t-shirts. But today we thought it would be fun if you hang out at home with us, so I can show you what a typical day in our life looks like when we aren't out and about in the city. Kinda like Friends or Seinfeld, it's really just an episode of us in our apartment.
12 o'clock, stare into the abyss.
Except without the A-list cast or studio production value. And instead, with Matteo being misunderstood by Alexa.
Hey Google. Hey, stop. I didn't say pasta.
And us trying not to break the radiator.
We're figuring it out.
You will be stared at like crazy if you do that here. Subscribe to follow the adventure. Morning. First order of business in the morning? Coffee. I want to be completely honest. I tend to burn the coffee, so Matteo makes it in the morning. So he'll show us how. He has a little special technique so it doesn't burn. We're gonna show you the secrets.
You're cooked in the pub. Welcome, how to make a coffee with Matteo.
You have such broken English now. We've been living here for too long. Welcome to how to...
Welcome. Today I'm going to teach you how to make the perfect cup of coffee. I'm just kidding. I already am though. Not kidding. Welcome. Today I'm going to teach you how to make the perfect cup of coffee.
For the low, low price of...
And never mind the rustic kitchen. I mean, we didn't choose this, but this is how it exists. Alright, so, to begin, we're going to be making espresso. The typical Italian espresso that you make in the morning. It's made inside a little mocha. It's called a mocha pot. After 6 years of making mocha pots, I finally figured out the way to make the best one without burning it or just making it taste funny. So today I'm going to share my secrets with you. Just the basics, don't worry. So if you're ever wondering how much water to put in, ideally using bottled water or filtered water, otherwise the little minerals inside the tap water will start to develop inside the little cup here. Fill it up until it hits round about the valve that you see, the release valve. Doesn't matter if it's like over it, on it. So, the 6 years of secrets. The problem I had the entire time was using a wet basket. Seems insignificant, however, it dampens the coffee and clogs the little holes inside here. So I finally figured it out that if you just go through the effort after washing your little mocha pot to dry the inside of your basket. So there's a trick. Make sure that little basket is dry. Perfect, like that. Now it won't clog the holes, it won't become like a little slush.
And this is the espresso that we use. It's a 2-pack. I think it's like €5.50 for this. And when you pull it out of the 2-pack, this is what a single brick looks like.
But this ends up going everywhere, so I like to actually just pour it into a coffee jar so that it doesn't spill. So now, with your dry basket, the dry basket is the trick. Just remember, if anything whilst making, make sure your basket is dry. Fill it up. I always spill, so don't stress.
That's why we do it over the sink.
Yeah. I'm not pushing it down, I'm just spreading it out with the corner of the spoon. Oh yeah, don't press the coffee down. It'll make it hard and compact and the water won't be able to come through. So just put enough. I'll teach you another trick. The best way to evenly get it out is to kind of hold it and just give it some vibration so that it can evenly spread. Ooh, look at that. You kind of want to fill it up until it reaches the rim. But don't overdo it because then it'll have too much. Something like that. You see, it's like full, but it's not like overdone. Never press it down. Put it in on top of the water. So that was trick number 2, is to shake your little basket. Trick number 3, I realized, is to actually keep your rubber ring inside here a little bit wet. So when it gets onto the mocha pot, it suctions better and creates a bit of vacuum for the steam to go through. See, so that's a little bit damp. Put it on, screw it on. Not too tight, just give it a nice little thing so that you can feel it suction. Another trick, cook with your lid open. I know it looks dirty, but you're not supposed to clean a mocha pot with soapy water or a sponge because it can change the flavor of your coffee. Put it on.
Yeah, those are just coffee stains. And in Italy, you have to press a lot of the times the little igniter while you push and turn the stovetop.
A low medium heat shall keep it brewing. And now we wait and we watch, and you'll see when it comes up.
And I boil some water on the side. So I use our filtered water.
While we wait for the espresso to finish brewing, I made my own special mix. Matteo just drinks the espresso normally, the way most people would. But this summer we came up with this interesting drink, because we never go out and like in Italy you don't really get like frappuccinos and kind of like the nice tasting long coffees. But his parents introduced us to these little like Nescafe ginseng packets. I've never had this before, but I take a cup, use a packet to dump the ginseng in, the sugar, I'll do like just a little bit of sugar here, and then I'll add the espresso to it and top it off with some oat milk, and it tastes delicious. It tastes like a little, you know, American. I'm one of those people that just really enjoys drinking a good cup of coffee in the morning. And while I do enjoy espresso when I'm kind of like on the go, in the mornings I really love to just like wake up with a nice yummy tasting thing. There's obviously a little bit more sugar in this than just drinking it black, but I love it, so.
Matteo's Italian lesson of the day. A coffee in Italian is il caffè. When you go to the bar, you can order un caffè, and that is an espresso. That is not a long coffee. An espresso, un caffè. Next thing to do is to wait for it to go to about 3/4 of the way full. Then switch off the heat, take it off the plate and close the lid, because then it'll carry on steaming through.
And that's how it's done.
Make sure you pour it as soon as it's done, otherwise it kind of sits and boils and can actually burn. So I googled that. They recommend instantly giving it a good pour. By the way, this is supposed to make 3 espressos, but we just halve it. I mean, be too little if we went 3 ways.
Then after Matteo pours his cup, I pour the rest in mine. Sweet nectar of life. Every last drop.
Add your sugar. This is just another trick, so it doesn't go everywhere. It's a lot easier to stir like this.
They actually have bougie little espresso spoons that they sell that's basically just the stem of a utensil. I add some hot water that I boiled. So I just use this oat milk to top it off. It's the closest thing I'm gonna get to an American coffee.
And just like that, it's done. Maybe wait for it to cool down. This is not a very well designed cup because the coffee gets stuck inside these little grooves. It becomes very hard to wash. So avoid textured espresso cups.
So many tips today.
Perfect cup, made perfectly. What is it called? Crema e gusto. It's creamy and gusto, which is delicious, I think. Flavorful, flavorsome. Perfect cup of perfect baby cup, perfect tazzino of coffee.
So after we make our coffee, we usually just sit here in the kitchen, spend a few minutes just looking at the daily news, realizing that that's a bad idea and it's depressing, so then we go to answering some messages before we get up and go to the other room so that we can work on our computers.
I love the view from our kitchen too, so I really enjoy starting the morning here because it's just, we've got this nice tree, it's got a beautiful blue sky today, and it's just a really calming place to kind of sit and wake up a bit. Now I take the rest of my coffee and come into the living room where we've basically also used it as a workstation. Then we settle in for a few hours of work.
She made me sit here and pretend like I was working. Look. Like the TV series and movies. Yeah, move the trades, bro.
Yeah. Sometimes because the only two people we hang out with is each other pretty much 24/7, kind of lose our minds a bit, so. We might find out some really weird things we do while I'm editing this video that have become totally normal to us but may in fact not be. Okay, so typically in the morning when I start working, I plug in our hard drive, I open the hard drive, and we edit our stuff in iMovie. A lot of people ask us this question. What we film on, what we edit on. It's 2 iPhones and iMovie. So yeah, these are the projects. So I usually spend most of my days editing, and Matteo spends the majority of his day literally doing all the research, which, as you guys know, we really like to beef up our stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of research here. Matteo spends a lot of time. I mean, this is just for one small video. So we spend a lot of our time after Matteo does the bulk of the research. Then we script, we do voice notes and all of that stuff. So this is all the research. It takes a lot of time, which is why our videos roll out slowly because we are very thorough. So today I am busy working on a video we filmed the other day where we went to the San Ambrogio market, found a lot of really cool stuff, and we went to the Museum of Illusion. So I won't give away all the details yet. But I'm busy working on this for our main channel while Matteo finishes research for all the stuff we have to film this week. My little toesies are getting cold. It's the beginning of November and the house is getting chilly. So it's time for my little fuzzy socks and my stokies, like a little old grandma. I feel like I'm settling into this Italian life pretty good. My age goes up 50 years every time I put these on. No regrets. I forgot to take my vitamins this morning. So every day I take a vitamin C and zinc and a magnesium citrate. My favorite breakfast cookie right now is abbracci, which means hugs in Italian. And they're really yummy. They're like half cocoa, half cream. They're like the perfect amount of sweetness in the morning and just a very basic cookie. So I take that when I take my vitamins. Otherwise, my tummy hurts.
I'm the towel boy. I wash the towels. Just remember to wash similar colors together.
We don't have the luxury of that.
Oh.
You're doing great.
Thank you. You know what else later. Similar colors together. Do we have other towels?
I think that's it.
We have one of these thingies, but no.
We have one of these, but the pods are expensive, so came with the apartment. And this washer shakes so much that before we turn it on, we literally have to take everything off of it because we don't want anything to break. It'll literally just start to rattle like crazy.
We also have a Google Home. Hey Google, shuffle songs by Milky Chance. Alright. Shuffling songs by Milky Chance on Spotify.
I'll shuffle Lil Peep on Spotify.
What?
The best part is when she doesn't understand Mateo's accent.
Little Peep? Who the hell's Little Peep?
Yeah, it's very similar to Milky Chance.
Hey Google. No. But it's also, our Google Home is bilingual.
Oh, okay.
Our Google Home is, hey Google. Hey Google. Stop. Our Google Home is bilingual. Ciao Google. Buongiorno Google. Hey Google. Buongiorno.
Ciao.
Adesso sono le 10:58. Adesso a Firenze ci sono 17 gradi e cielo parzialmente nuvoloso. Oggi sarà parzialmente nuvoloso, con una massima di 23 gradi e una minima di 12. Ok, ecco l'ultimo episodio di What Happened Today in History. November 12 TH da Google Podcast. Tieni presente che ho inviato un link al tuo telefono. Buona giornata. Vediamo quali sono le ultime notizie.
What the hell was that? What was that?
Hey Google. Hey Google. Basta.
I found a few places near you. The first one is Trattoria.
I didn't say
by
pasta.
Battista
Hey
Nicola.
Google. Hey, stop. Stop. I said stop. I didn't say pasta. I said basta.
No problem. Just let me know if you need anything.
Oh, she's so
What do you
polite.
say now? Hey Google. Ferma.
Good job.
Now it works. Hey Google.
No.
Cancel. Hey Google. Shuffle songs by Milky Chance.
All right, shuffling Milky Chance on Spotify.
Yay.
Shout out to my boy Milky. I'm joking. I don't know that. Good music though. Hey Google, stop, otherwise we're gonna get copyrighted music on YouTube. As you can tell, we have quite the adventures here at the Varela household.
Something that I keep putting off doing and I actually need to get done is a haircut, because last time I got my haircut was like a year ago when I was home for Thanksgiving, and it is literally Thanksgiving again in 2 weeks, and my hair is not okay. It is just long and dead and fried. So this hair salon is right next to Bebe, the wine window. It's right in the Santa Spirito neighborhood, and I've walked past there a bunch, and I've heard it has good reviews, so I'm just gonna book my hair appointment with them. Luckily, some of these websites in Italy have like the English-Italian button, so it makes it a little bit easier. I get a little bit nervous when getting my hair cut in another country because I just hope they understand me.
Tis getting pretty cold here in Florence, and the house is actually feeling pretty chilly. And like, the heating doesn't need to be on all the time, but we do just need to heat up the house. However, every house seems to be different, and understanding how heating works in Italy is very complicated. So I think I accidentally reset this. I don't really know what the settings are. All I know is that when I turn this little knob, it should come on. And we have to open up the radiators, which is all very confusing.
So you use this little knobby here. The more you loosen it, the more heat comes through, and then if you tighten it, the less heat comes through. So it's a little bit confusing to do this plus the thermostat, because I just thought you twisted the knobby on the radiator, but this also does something. We're figuring it out. It literally makes everything shake.
Are we on?
Laundry calls.
Wash light colors together. So this is a washer dryer. However, it is about not wasting electricity, but I also find when the clothes are in the dryer, it seems to like shrink them and make them just not last as long. With the towels, I just don't really see why I'd need electricity. I just use the air anyway. It's not like I need them right now. So looking out for that environment. Energy costs are going high.
Yeah, so it's not too common in Italy to have a dryer, so it's actually kind of a miracle that this one's a washer dryer. But yeah, with energy costs going like skyrocketing in Europe, it's just also the more economical way to go to kind of conserve
electricity and energy. So we got this rope thing from like a hardware store.
€1 store.
From the €1 store, not even a hardware store. It's not typically here, but we put it up and it's like hooked to this thing back here. And we use it as a clothesline, basically. In the summer, things used to dry a lot faster, but now that it's getting colder, it's taking a little bit longer. So sometimes it feels like we're playing a game of limbo / hide and go seek in this house. You're doing such a great job. At least we don't need clothespins to hang stuff. Wow, so professional.
Years of practice.
Oh no, I've lost. Oh, what was that? You're blending right in with the towels. I almost lost you. A super fun game. Not the cutest thing, but it does save electricity. A lot of houses or apartments here will have kind of clotheslines outside if there's a balcony that you can use clothespins and kind of air dry your clothes, although when it's raining, not so practical. But other than that, you could buy ones on a stand that are, I don't know, metal. You kind of fold them out. We used to have one like that in our other place that we were staying, but here they didn't have one, so a €1 rope was a solution for it. 12 o'clock, stare into the abyss. 3 o'clock, stare into the abyss.
You cooked, man.
Now it's time for a little lunch break. Now that it's getting colder, we've been getting these kind of like ready-made soup packets. Just because when we're working, these are the easiest things to kind of make quickly, so we don't have to spend too much time away from the computer. And get my little pot here. So I like the pot a bit. I like to put a pinch of oil. Just, I know it probably doesn't need it, but put it on the bottom. And this soup that I got, it's got pictures of like garlic, potato, peas, and celery, and I think a little bit of spinach and carrot as well. So it only takes a few minutes to cook. In the summer, when I just needed to make lunch quickly, I would always make, oh yeah, and it comes out in these like, frozen in these like little circle things. Pop that in there, pop the lid on. In the summer, I used to make a lot of salad, like just like basic caprese salads, because it was light and refreshing. But now it's cold, so it's soup season. So I'll let that cook for a few minutes while I chop up the bread and butter it. This little ciabatta here. And I love this. So we don't have like a normal drying rack. I've gotten like super used to this kind of Italian drying style. So we wash our stuff and put it on the hooks. Basically drip dries. Bread knife. So yeah, when we put it here, everything basically just drips into the sink while it dries. Grab the butter.
lunchtime.
Okay. I'm gonna take you. 20 seconds as per the health department. That's the word. Recommends.
There you go.
Thank you. We will now eat food.
I'm such a good provider. I've been working all day in the kitchen to make you this food.
What is this?
It's the potato. It's the potato one that you like. It's just enough for 2 people. We go halvesies on the soup.
I think it says serves 3, so these small children.
Yeah, this is also supposed to be 3 cups of coffee, yet here we are. So now we're all done with lunch. I'm just gonna clean up a bit. And I kind of hate this because like normally in the summer, whenever I was making lunch, it would be salads. We'd have a bunch of fruit and peaches and plums and like delicious fresh fruit and vegetables. But now, like when it's cold, like, you know, you just want comfort food. So we're eating a lot of like soups and breads, and we normally don't eat that much bread. Like we never really have bread and butter. But in the last month, it's been like all we've been eating. But it's just now the fruits and vegetables are getting more expensive because they're out of season. And then when we do buy them, there's like no flavor, just because it's not their time. So the struggles of autumn and winter, I guess. My post lunch coffee. So for my afternoon cup of coffee, I do 2 little spoons of Nescafe Gold. I love the name for the teaspoon in Italian. It's called cucchiaino. I think that's super cute for a little teaspoon. Do a little bit of sugar. There we go. Some hot water. Perfect. Now it's time to get back to work. So I just realized that heating up water in this pot has become like super normal to me. Meanwhile, in America, we would have a kettle, like an electric kettle that you would fill up water and then put it on its little thing. But in Italy, kettles aren't really a thing. So, I mean, we've just been heating it up in whatever little pot we can. I just realized that that might look really weird to a lot of people. But it does the trick and it's totally fine. So, yeah, works like a charm. Okay, now back to work. Okay, so Italy just did the time change a few days ago. We actually do it a week before America does it, and now it is pitch black at 5. And normally we like to go on walks in the evenings when the sun is setting just to get our bodies moving a bit since we sit inside all day. But now we have to take our little daily walks earlier. So it's about 4 p.m. right now. We're just gonna change quickly and go for our little walk so that we're back before dark. So in Italy, we have to separate our trash like to the nth degree. So we have a bag for plastic, we have glass, there's a cardboard, organic, and kind of like indifferenziata, which is the kind of stuff that doesn't fit into any one category. So we have to filter it appropriately and then take it downstairs to throw it out. Let's go. New. Take the trash out before our walk. We're guilty of eating frozen pizza in Italy.
So this is the organic bin. I don't know why it requires a little thingy. And this bag that it's in,
It's biodegradable, right?
it's a biodegradable bag.
Paper.
it. So if you see these giant dumpsters, there's just so many different variations of how you have to separate trash here. And these ones actually need like the little fob key to open them, but then there's other smaller silver ones that you separate the trash in also, but they just have a little foot pedal that you press and it opens. But yeah, for some reason the giant ones are locked, which doesn't make too much sense, because if you don't have a key, a lot of people will just leave their trash like next to the bin, which seems counterintuitive to throwing it away. So one big like outfit adjustment that I had to make is that like when you're dressed in exercise clothes here, you are very specifically like you need to be exercising in those clothes. If you're doing anything other than exercising in your exercise clothes, it's just a no-go. And I know in the States, I mean, sometimes I throw on my yoga pants or like these like just like Nike, yeah, just like workout gear, like this kind of stuff to go to Target or just run some errands, go to the pharmacy, but you will be stared at like crazy if you do that here, which honestly I don't think is a bad thing. Like they take pride in how they look. They're always just so put together, even just to run errands, which, you know, I can really appreciate. You really feel like there's effort there, and just the beauty of the, you know, the little tasks. Like, why not?
It must be exhausting.
I mean, sometimes when we're working and we're really trying to finish a video and we're just editing for hours on end, but we like ran out of food and we just need to pop over to the grocery store, I just want to throw stuff like this on because it's easy to like just go and come back and not have to worry about putting yourself together. And yeah, sometimes you feel judged, you know?
The Italians stare regardless. They stare at everything, and now especially that I'm the only man in the city wearing shorts.
This is also a no-go. I mean, it's November. This is like not okay.
It's not that far. It's good. Make everybody look at us like we're somebody popular.
So we like to get off the street and come down to this little river walk just to get off the noisy street. So in the summer, actually all of this empty space used to be filled with bars and restaurants. This whole area used to be pumping. But around the beginning to mid-October, some of them actually even stayed open until about a week ago. They start breaking them down because it's only a summer thing. But it's awesome because you could just have drinks here. It's at a little bit out of the city center. So it's more local, and yeah, it's just a really fun vibe. But now that it's fall, it's a lot more peaceful. You're kind of just more in nature here, which I really enjoy. Nice legs.
Thank you. I get told I have nice legs all the time. By men, of course. Not by any woman at all.
That's rude. I tell him he has nice legs all the time. So normally, Matteo and I, like whenever we've lived anywhere, we always go to the gym a few times a week just to get like just a more intense workout than a leisurely walk. But the gyms here, surprisingly, are very expensive. There's one near our apartment, and we popped in there to ask like how much for the two of us for a couple months, and it would come out to €1,000 for two people for 4 months. At like the gym's okay, it's nothing fancy. It's not like, if you know, like Equinox in America. I mean, I never went to Equinox in America because it's ridiculously expensive, but with the price they quoted us, I could have sworn this was an Equinox gym, and it most definitely is not that. Very basic gyms here cost a lot of money. A gym even smaller than that with hardly any equipment is like €50 a month. It's closer to the city center, and there's like nothing in there. So we've had to kind of get by with just walks, and we'll work out in the apartment, like with resistance bands and just doing like abs and squats and things like that. But definitely prefer working out in a gym. So this is nice to get outside, but for an actual workout, I definitely prefer the gym. Aww.
Whoa, look at my long, lanky legs. I do love nature. I'm definitely not a city slicker. I could never survive living in a city. I need grass, I need air, I need space. At least Florence is like a half and half depending on where you're staying and what you do, time of year. But I mean, it's a nice contrast. Small city, a lot of green areas on the outskirts. That's all I have to say.
Your haircut looks so cute in this light.
Thank you.
What a cute face.
In that park across the river over there on that side, there's this awesome reproduction of Brunelleschi's dome from the top of the Duomo. From my understanding, I think it was part of students at a university who were trying to find out how he actually built the dome, since he didn't leave any plans or anything. And so you can actually go and admire how they put the bricks in the same pattern that he did, the herringbone pattern. It's just quite interesting. It's in one of the far little corners of Florence. It's not really worth walking to, but it's a pretty cool little gem.
Okay, so we just got back home. Now it's time for a little shower and then dinner time. So I just finished showering and Matteo's taking a shower now, so I'm gonna get dinner ready. So for dinner tonight, we are just having some leftover pasta, but this is my favorite pasta. Matteo kind of like made up the recipe with a whole concoction of stuff. So unfortunately it's already made, but I want to show you guys how to make it. So that'll be in another video. It's delicious. We eat it a lot. It's my favorite thing, especially now that it's getting cold. Just a little bit of salt and oil and a little heat and we are ready to eat. And while that's going, a little bit of wine. I know it is like not normal to keep red wine in the fridge. You're supposed to drink it at room temperature, but we prefer it chilled just because I feel like it's more refreshing. So that's what we're doing. And this bottle of Chianti, it's a DOCG. And it is literally €2.99 and it's delicious. It's our favorite wine and it's so cheap and it's just amazing. So love it. Matteo loves to drink wine out of these smaller cups like a true Italian. So he's gonna get the small cup. And I think we need another bottle of wine. Now we set up our dining station with these super fancy paper towel placemats. And our luxury TV. At least it's in 4K. Dinner is ready.
Parmesan.
Are you just eating chunks of your Parmesan cheese? Unpopular opinion. I hate Parmesan cheese. I've been trying to like it so much over the years, I just don't.
$5.60. Not the highest quality. These guys brand, and the grocery store buys the big wheel, and then they chop it up into wedges and sell it. Bad reputation. Bad reputation. I can't remember new songs. You know, the future of YouTube is where you can watch food, but you can smell it at the same time. I don't know how long that's going to
That's what happens after he has one sip of wine on an empty stomach. You're a growing boy.
You're supposed to use a grater, but that's an extra thing to wash. So I just go like that. I don't recommend this, I mean, unless you really like Parmesan. Parmigiano Reggiano. Mozzarella. You guys watch that Conan episode where he just walks around shouting random things on the street. What do you say? Mozzarella. I forgot what the other words he says. Fusilli, tortelloni. He's a funny guy, that. Just by the way, let me know if you don't understand anything I'm saying. I'll put subtitles in again. Or if you want to learn some South African slang, such as we're going to have some chow now. A little dop. This doesn't really count as a dop, you know?
It's a doppino.
If you need a slang video, I'll link it here in the top corner and in the description below. It's Michelle giving you a breakdown of all the South African slang you need to know in order to survive in the country. Yeah. I forgot.
How much cheese are
what I was doing.
You're just
Why
talking
do you
to
mix it,
me.
though?
You use like half the block there,
Where's
bud.
my fork?
What's my fork?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Matteo continues to put a whole block of Parmesan on his pasta. We're coming to our local dining area here. Oh, would you look at that? It's transformed from the daytime. Setting up our little viewing station. Our current show we're on right now is Young Sheldon, season 4. It's hysterical. So that's our dinner time TV show.
We don't have a normal TV. We do have a normal TV, it's just very old.
Yes.
At your own son's wedding. Well, he's my ex-husband. Well, he's my boyfriend. Hey, that's your problem.
So we're all done dinner and our episode of Young Sheldon, and now it's back to work.